Well, joining me now is Pete Hegseth, Fox and Friends weekend co-host. Pete, always good to see you, but I got to tell you, this morning was a strange situation. I wake up, I read the headlines. We're talking with Venezuela about oil, but we're still buying it from Russia. Pete, how do you explain this energy policy that we continue to see out of the Biden administration?
It is across the board self-inflicted wounds. Watch the White House attempt to say that everything we're feeling at the pump and elsewhere is the result of Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Oh, by the way, except the policy of this administration from day one has been to crush our oil and gas industry, shut down pipelines, shut down exploration, create no incentive for additional opportunities, and chase every Green New Deal and every Green New Dream possible, whether it's economically feasible or not. We should not forget that. And then, oh, by the way, the policy of this administration was to deter Vladimir Putin from invading Ukraine. They never deterred him, never took a serious step to deter him, so he did invade. So in both cases, it is policies from this White House that have created the reality that when I drive down the road, as I did 15 minutes ago here, I see $4.50 for what it takes to fill up my gas pump, and I see my own government saying we're going to go to Iran, sit at the table with Russians, by the way, in a bad deal, or Venezuela or Saudi Arabia to get dirtier oil that's even more costly than being energy, not just energy independent, Brian, you know this. Donald Trump said he wanted us to be energy dominant, which means we hold the cards. We're the ones with the leverage in this situation. We could turn to the Germans and say, turn it off from the Russians because we'll back you up. None of that's happening. So we are riding the wave of authoritarians, and it's the fault of our own policies.
You know, that is such a good point because there are people pleading with the Biden administration to consider the advantage of American energy independence. We're just asking let's get to independent first. But you're right. It wasn't long ago that this country was talking not just about independence, but strategic dominance globally, the ability to insulate from all sorts of kind of geopolitical conflicts because we had that energy power.
That was the point.
But
that was the point. It's not to be dependent on OPEC, and now we're begging OPEC. It's insane.
Pete, and here's where I'm going with this. We're not just even begging OPEC. Now we're going to Iran and saying, you know what, we'll take any deal on the table brokered by Russia if we can get 1.3 million barrels of oil from you. Pete, what does that do to our national security posture?
It's utterly reckless. It's fundamentally unserious. It's in a moment of our own desperation, they use their new leverage over us to say, sure, we'll pump you some, again, dirtier oil to you than you could do in your own backyard. But in exchange, you got to give us basically a nuclear bomb. You know, Israel, don't listen to them over there. I know they talk about an existential threat, and don't listen to us because when we say we're going to wipe Israel off the map, we don't really mean it. Just like we didn't listen to Vladimir Putin when he said he wanted to reconstitute the Soviet Union. It's fundamentally unserious globalist policy driven by Green New Deal zealots who are, you know what? This is the sad part. A lot of people on the Democrat Party today, they're just fine with $4.50 a gallon, $5 a gallon, $5.50 a gallon, $6 a gallon, because it's going to drive people away from fossil fuels and they're going to move into this dream utopia of electric vehicles. They are okay with the pain, and they don't recognize the reality of the geopolitical world we live in right now. You don't love oil and gas? Guess what? It's here until we can find something to transition to.
Yeah, you know, when you hear Nancy Pelosi saying, let's ban Russian oil, you say to yourself, but where's the second part of that? What are you going to replace it with? What are you going to do for American consumers when they can't get Russian oil? They can't get anybody else's. Obviously, the answer is Venezuela, Pete. But let me ask you this before we go, because there's a military component to this. If we're not doing everything we can on the economic front, on the sanction front, then inevitably there gets to be a call for more on the military front, Pete. How much more dangerous do we make this situation by not going as far as we can economically with these sanctions on oil and gas?
I think we've already jumped the shark on that. I actually think the economic leverage we thought we might have is long since eroded. What more can we actually do? We should and can do more to Vladimir Putin on energy. Germany says they won't. That's a big market. There's other markets they'll still have access to. The key now is to recognize that economic failure while also remaining exercising restraint in the extent to which we attempt to get NATO involved as it pertains to Vladimir Putin. What we don't want is a wider war with nuclear weapons. Help the Ukrainians fight this autocrat with stingers and javelins, but don't get us involved.
Pete, I've heard you use the term thread the needle on this. By mismanaging energy so badly, we have made that gap for threading the needle about as thin as you can make it. Got to leave it there. Pete Hegseth, always good to see you, my friend. Take care.
Thanks, Bri.